Absolutely nothing to talk about today on DC Movie News, so we'll just sit here and ponder what we might like to see in some trailer someday. Today on DC Movie News.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
And it is a bright, sunshiny day in the DC movie universe today. Haters can't hate when you see something as great as that was today. What's up, everybody? Welcome to DC Movie News. How you guys doing?
Pretty freaking awesome today.
What a thing to wake up to, huh?
Oh my god, I woke up before it and was sitting there, waiting and waiting and waiting, and pow!
I was not even going to get out of bed, and I think I saw your text.
Oh.
And I rolled over and I grabbed my iPod. I was like, oh god. And then I was like, I just sat there and watched that trailer 3 times.
Yeah.
Just spellbound. Elena Jordan's here. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Welcome back. This is, of course, the very famous con frequenter, cosplayer, AfterBuzz TV host, and today our resident Wonder Woman. And that is not a bathing suit, although it's made of a very similar bathing suit material. Elena Jordan is back.
I'm excited to be back. Thank you guys for having me.
What a good one to guest on, guys.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
This trailer was amazing.
What's wrong with Johnny and Mike that they didn't want to come for this conversation?
Johnny and Mike, they were both, I believe they're absolutely available and even here. And I think,
like literally,
They were so stunned
didn't even want to
watching
walk
the
in the room.
trailer.
Maybe that's it.
They can't move. They're still at home watching it on a loop. That's why.
Also joining us, Elena, of course, frequent friend of the show. We're so happy to have you back. Another less frequent, but also friend of the show. You may know him as a TV food host. He was formerly in the band that gained some acclaim, Pipers at the Gates of Down.
Yeah, super close.
Yes.
Super close.
The Pied Pipers at the Gates of Down, and now the Bognar Brothers. He's a big DC fan. Bobby Bognar is here.
Thank you for having me again. My second appearance here. And it's very nice that Roxy decided to show up on a day I was here.
Yeah, people actually were tweeting at me thinking we might be the same people in disguise because we couldn't be on the same show. But now, that's why actually you're watching this
Split screen.
Yeah.
You might not remember, but that was frequently a theory with me and Mike Kalinowski, which we
that
can't even
happened for,
remember.
that happened for months.
A long time.
Yeah, that happened for months where you guys
A
were
long
on different
time.
shows. Either way, though, in all seriousness, is Johnny in the Middle East or Texas?
I think he's in Texas.
Okay, somewhere. I couldn't
Yeah, because he
remember.
left this morning and he landed this morning. Johnny is missing. Mike Kalinowski, I believe, had a very last-minute important audition or something, so
He's trying to get to us right now.
I know, he's going to hopefully try to get to us. That would be great if traffic complies. But listen.
I've got a lap open for him. He can just sit right here.
Oh,
on my
jump
lap.
right in there.
Yeah.
He'll lean across. Yeah. Guys, this was a week that started with big DC movie news and not necessarily great DC movie news.
Well,
We'll get
depends
to
on
it.
how you're looking at
We'll
it.
get to it, and I'm glad to already hear. I feel like I'm inferring that we might not be on the different page with that one. But then we gotta start off talking about something that's big. But first, of course, how can I forget to introduce the crown jewel of the DC movie news universe? You know her as a frequent podcast, vodcast host all over. Smod God. You can see her with Jason Mewes on what's that show you do with Mewes?
Flash and Friends.
Flash and Friends. You can see her everywhere. You love
we
her.
had Zach Stentz on this week. He wrote the episode of Flash this week. He came on Flash and Friends.
Oh, you had Zach Stentz?
Yeah.
And isn't he also working on like Booster Gold movie as well? Wasn't that?
I don't know what he said to me on air and what he didn't, but yes, he's working
Oh,
on
Nugget!
yes, he's
DC
definitely
Nugget!
working on the Booster Gold movie. I may or may not have some inside scoop about that I might share at some
Wow,
point.
this is exciting. Roxy was no less than three DC Comics femme fatales this weekend.
Yes, it was.
Break them down. Who were
Yeah,
They
so I
were.
started as Black Canary, and then I went as Catwoman, and then I had to end as Harley. I know there's some shame being
I
Harley
love it.
right now,
No
but,
shame.
but I
No
mixed,
shame.
I mixed
Zero
the
Because it was the
old
most
school-
dressed as.
yeah.
But listen,
I
if you
think
can't
that's
be
amazing.
Roxy Striar and dress as
right.
Harley,
Who else
then you
would
host
do
DC
that?
Movie News and a Flash show, I'm
what
sorry.
I'm
Everybody else
saying.
get in line behind Roxy.
I'm
with
gonna
you.
just do it, I'm doing it. So I did all of them, and it was really awesome because people actually recognized who I was as Black Canary when I was out, and people were like, "Are you Black Canary?"
And you were
I was like,
classic.
"That's
You were
so
more of a
cool."
classic comic book Black
Yeah,
Canary
yeah.
too, which means yes, fishnets. Look it up. It's
We
out
were
there.
we were at a throwback Halloween party, so I felt like I couldn't go new school Black Canary, like not the CW version.
Yeah.
So it was more of a throwback.
Oh, I was old school Flash too.
Hey,
your
was-
Flash
I love
costume.
that you
Hey.
went full Dinah Drake instead of Dinah Lance too, because she's one girl. So I was
yeah.
like, Roxy picking the correct
I mean, if
one.
you're such a frequent con person and cosplayer, I have to ask, what did you dress as? I didn't quite catch it. Were you?
I did, I actually had like 8 Halloween costumes. I went to a
Why does that
bunch
not
of different
surprise me?
things, and then I had my own party. So
I tried
just
to
left
get
my
there.
costume rack, and I changed every hour. And the rule was every time I changed, anybody who showed up not in costume.
I saw that.
Yeah, I had
I
a big
saw that
box
about
of all
your
my
thing.
dejected cosplay pieces I don't use anymore. And every
Oh.
time I changed, somebody had to put on something different, and everybody had
great.
to switch off.
That's
If it wasn't for
amazing.
Uber
fun.
being ×5, I would have been at your party.
And that was actually on Halloween, was it?
Damn
no,
surge,
Saturday.
damn
That was Saturday,
surge.
okay.
After
And
Stanley's LA
Comic-Con,
Comic-Con, that
yeah.
I keep
Adam,
going kamikaze.
You put out quite the amazing video today on Twitter of you.
Yes, I said it was my Wonder Woman trailer reaction, but in fact, it was from Saturday night before I was going out that evening, and I asked you, I'm like, should I put the Flash underwear on the outside? I'm like, and
Yeah.
you're like, absolutely yes.
Absolutely.
I'm like, it's not really accurate to any version of anything, but I'm like, it made
but
some
I
most
think
sense.
that-
Happy.
Yeah.
It's accurate to the version
You
that
got,
warms my
you chimed
heart.
in as well, so
And Johnny's kind of rubbing off on you because I think you were a do-gooder this weekend. Didn't
I was a little do-gooder. Yeah, well, the reason I dressed as the Flash is because I ran for the Hirschberg Foundation, which raises money for pancreatic cancer awareness.
you? In the Flash costume.
In the Flash costume,
wow.
so that was why I was just like, all right, well, I'm going to be the Flash. I'm going to get I just want something that looks ridiculous and is kind of tight. So I could run in it and it's like whatever. And I found this thing and then I got to
thought it
wear
was
it like
hella
4
tight.
nights. Yeah, and then I did it and I ran it in what was it? I think I ran like a 7:49 minute mile for the whole thing. It was the average, and my brother beat me. My brother Keith beat me at 7:43, and he's 4 years older than me. I feel a little butthurt about that,
Yeah, I
but
get that.
we helped raise a lot of money, and it was
Can we just
awesome.
watch it for a second for the people that didn't?
Oh, yeah,
get
there
to
it is. This is
actually
me
view
getting
this?
ready
Can we just
for-
check this out because it was you in all of your glory.
This is Saturday night. Getting ready.
Getting ready.
Getting ready for the night.
For the night.
Yeah.
Did we
Yeah.
just do a better song than Bobby did? Is that like a better?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, for sure. I wish I had Bobby's accompaniment on that. Okay, guys. What would you do, Bobby? Anything special for Halloween there?
Well,
Any-
now that I have a 6-year-old, Halloween has changed.
Well,
So-
but I mean, isn't kind of back to what it was?
Oh, it was
almost?
fantastic. I mean,
Okay.
it was fantastic. But, it's not the old party days. But yeah, it was awesome. I was out with, this sounds super rock and roll, but I was out with like 10 6-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
Who couldn't possibly have been any happier.
Hell yeah.
To go run up and down the blocks and check out
Yeah.
the candies every time. What did you get? What did you get? What did you get?
That's
Every
awesome.
house.
That's what
It
I
was
miss the
fantastic.
most. Yeah, I mean, adults have definitely commandeered the Halloween holiday, especially where we live in Los Angeles.
Okay,
and
West Hollywood.
West
If you
Hollywood.
go to West Hollywood, you
Where
got
I
to do
live,
that.
I don't even mean to go there.
I've done that a couple of times. It is the most amazing thing. All right.
Once you have a kid, you can't do that though.
No, no.
I mean, it is like running the gauntlet at Marine training camp. You just end up beat up at the end of that thing. It is fantastic. Do it once in your life for sure, at least. But no
You're
more
talking
West
about
Hollywood
Santa Monica
parades.
Boulevard
Yeah.
and WeHo. Yeah.
Guys, I think that's our entire show. People, I think that's it.
That's
all we
it.
have for
Nothing
today.
else to talk about.
This is pretty much our costumes.
Yeah,
Oh
there you
yeah,
go.
there we go. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you. We'll see
Yeah,
you next
it's
time.
been nice,
No, guys, listen. That was very relevant Halloween talk because we were representing.
Halloween.
We were representing.
Because I'm going to spend all the money in my bank account making the costume from this trailer.
Okay,
I
yeah.
already
No
know.
kidding, right?
So just a couple of months ago, it was despite whatever. With DC movies up to that point at Comic-Con, we hadn't had Suicide Squad yet at that point, right? It was before Suicide Squad came out, but everybody
The week
walked away.
before.
A lot of people walked away really impressed with the Wonder Woman trailer. But listen, we all know trailers can be great, and we know that sometimes the more you see, the more nervous you get. So I was a little trepidatious when this thing happened today. Should we take a look at it
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
talking about it? So let's
check
take a
it
look
out.
at the Wonder Woman trailer, which is going to start playing.
Coming
While
soon.
while it is
Yes.
loading up,
It's happening.
Don't you love how Mikey Christmas was so positive when the trailer was going to drop and was dead wrong about it? He was like,
He
"It's
was
coming
dead
for-"
wrong. It
Yeah,
made
he
the
was
most
dead.
sense to drop with Doctor Strange. It makes all the
He was
sense
like,
in the
no,
world.
Fantastic Beasts. It's going with Fantastic Beasts.
You know what? But that's Mikey's full teamsmanship.
Yeah,
Like he
I
doesn't
know.
want to give
Right.
anything to Marvel away. Like he
Warner
doesn't want,
Brothers is going
and he
with
says
it.
he loves it, but when he's Team DC, he's Team DC.
He's like,
He's
it doesn't make sense to do it with Doctor Strange. It's
Well, it
just
makes all the sense in the world.
Different audience.
For me, I'm waking up with Wonder Woman trailer and then going to see
Yeah.
Doctor Strange tonight. Like I'm getting great nerd
Yeah.
days at the beginning of November.
The
I know.
stuff
It's
of
Just
dreams.
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
One more time.
Wonder Woman. All right, so you're saying modern,
Modern day
Yeah.
because we have the pyramids. This.
Modern
At
day.
the Louvre.
Okay.
That's-
We'll touch
Elena
on
has
that.
some concern
Yeah.
about the picture.
That's the only problem I have with the whole thing.
The picture's amazing.
It's
Now,
so
this
good.
shot,
Oh,
everything with the colors, guys.
Yeah.
gorgeous.
DC being
All
dark
the
and
leaping,
gray.
leaping and diving is
see the great dark.
Don't you get nervous when you hit a walk down
Every frame of this could be a poster.
it's gorgeous.
Sure.
there? The colors are everything.
Perfect.
Again with the leaping.
Gorgeous.
Slow-mo.
So much great bullets in this.
DC with the slow-mo.
Learned this the hard way.
What the heck is that flying
What
by?
happens there?
It's a bird, it's a plane.
Somebody goes down there.
Bullet.
What is your mission?
To stop the war.
What war?
The war to end all wars.
That happened. And we have
Yeah.
wars after that.
Far deadlier than you can ever
Oh,
imagine.
getting villain hints.
Dr.
Dr.
Poison?
Poison?
Whoever you are,
Danny
you are
Houston?
in more danger than you think.
I cannot stand by while innocent lives are lost.
Neither can I, Wonder Woman.
Good.
Oh, and look at this. Entering the war room. Oh, the first look at the costume. I love that.
She's my secretary.
Secretary.
Oh,
Yes!
Yeah, that is awesome.
We shall chat about that.
Yeah. Oh, but then
Perfect.
that's the thing. That's the 1-2 punch right there. Like you had me.
It's so hard when it says this June. It's like we're not even in 2017. This June.
We're not gonna see anything for like 4 more
I
months.
know.
Which we already saw a version of this.
Yes.
But man,
Lock that crap. And then the war. Her breaking through the
Yes.
glass again. We love that shot.
Every ball down needs a sword.
Okay, so people who are saying that they're completely platonic, did you see that face rub?
yeah. Oh, and then we get to see her fighting style, which is just
Badass.
which,
A little otherworldly, what was coming at her.
and that theme is growing on me.
Yeah.
At first, I was not crazy
I
about
love
it.
it.
Now I'm into it.
Woman possibly fight in this.
See?
We use our principles.
I love that.
Although
Yep.
I am not opposed to engaging in a bit of fisticuffs should the
Bit
occasion
of
arise.
fisticuffs.
Love it.
Can you imitate her? A
Perfect.
bit of fisticuff.
Bit of fisticuffs.
Everything.
Should the occasion arise. Yeah,
Perfect
there it
amount of
is, guys.
Badassery and lightheartedness.
Yeah.
I think the movie's going to be perfect just based off that trailer.
I mean,
Really?
I hope.
right out the gate, the one thing that really sets some of the DC films apart for me and is really exemplified here is beautiful cinematography.
And different than what we've seen, I think they do it on purpose when we're talking about DC being dark and gritty and movies being so. This, when you've got the blues and the ocean that's popping like that and the greens and all of the colors, it's like, okay, this place looks beautiful, but then we've got the badass that also makes it still kind of dark, but not in the. I love the way they did that. I love
Perfect
it.
balance.
Yeah, exactly. Just to get it out of the way, you said you had a problem with something. There was an issue.
Okay, so the only issue that I have, I love that this is going to be bookended, and we see that, it's going to have the flashback to, and it's all going to be set period piece.
Right, it looks like
except
part
for
of
the
this is at
beginning.
least in modern day.
Yeah, the beginning
Right.
is obviously modern day because we see the Louvre that has the
It's their
glass
structure
pyramids.
to
It's-
letting us in, yeah.
Which Zack Snyder's even said the timeline of this is supposed to be after Batman versus Superman,
Okay.
where we saw the digital version that Lex Luthor had of the photo.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this one? Did she print it out and put it in a case?
Do you know where the original photo is? Do you ever know where the original photo is?
You as in us, or you as in
No.
like
Have
Elena?
we been told? Was it introduced in the film?
We just have the digital version is what we've seen, but we
Okay.
know that that's the same photo.
So for
I'm
people who
wondering,
forgot, you're talking about those little images that you click on, and with the photos that came up, we saw of every single person.
we have
this
yes,
is Wonder
this
Woman.
Is this
the
is
photo.
the same photo.
Yep.
Yes. Which
And you're saying
we're
that
saying
it's-
is going to trigger, which we get that's
So
going to be
is
what
it not
leads into the
possible
behind.
that she recovers the original document after BVS, even in the beginning of this film, or in time between?
That's what I'm wondering because I'm just hoping that they'll explain that.
Okay.
Just because I know it's such a nitpicky thing.
No,
but
it's an
because
important
out of the
everything
world, though.
else-
If it takes it out of the world,
it's the
that's the
only
thing.
thing that because it's so seamlessly linked together, and
Right.
I love that all of these things do link so well. And even though this is going to be a flashback, it still ties in. I want the worlds to be cohesive.
Here are the couple other issues that I have heard with this trailer, because again, I want to get because I know how much we loved it. I want to get those out there.
We're going to be fair and balanced here.
How did you guys feel about the fact that she doesn't, not that she ever flies, but that she doesn't like air glide, fly at all?
I am glad they're saving that.
Because
I think
you
it's going to be a
use
save.
it?
I think they are. I think it's going to be a different visual. And while we got we have enough in this trailer to make us very, very happy. I don't think that they're trying to give us everything right now because
I'm very excited by a lot of the aerobatics. Have they kind of moved kind of like the Na'vi in Avatar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how I'm kind of likening her abilities to, almost like a Na'vi in that huge moving, huge leaping,
fluid.
But not like jumping up in free-form flight. It doesn't seem like they're gonna have her fly, but it seems like she can like jump off a building and bounce off another building. I mean, like,
I think we'll get more visual allusions to that, though. That will be later. That will be bigger, wide scale than what we have on this one.
Okay.
Bobby, what are some of your takeaways? Your initial.
I have no negatives on this trailer, which I did for BVS, of course, which I ended up liking more than most people did. But no, this looks amazing, and how can you not be excited about the action in this film? You know, I mean,
it looks so good. I mean, the action looks so good.
It looks amazing. The close-up fighting looks amazing. The big scenic battles
the
look amazing.
bracelets look amazing.
So
all of it, the detail.
The lasso looks amazing.
The lasso looks amazing.
Michael Wilkinson and be like, everything you make is beautiful.
How do I get one? Like, how do I purchase one and use it in my everyday life?
The lasso of truth?
But this one, the glowing lasso of truth and knowledge and wisdom and wonder. Like,
I'll tell you one thing that I was a little questionable about at first, and that was her voiceover. Like at first, because
I love her opening line.
Well, I'll tell you, at first it was like, all right, it lacks the gravitas of like a Cate Blanchett or a Meryl Streep or something like that. And I was like, and that was what a lot of people's criticism, casting a fairly inexperienced actress in this major role. And then upon listening to it again, I saw that as her sort of naive innocence and the hope that drives her character. Like, it wasn't coming from a place of like someone who was a queen. It was someone that was a princess.
And also somebody who's explaining to us why it's not so easy. I used to want to save the world. Mm-hmm. Everybody thinks that superheroes should be going out and saving the world. If you're a superhero, why aren't you doing good? And we know from BVS that she hasn't been particularly active in a long time, and now she's kind of explaining why.
So something happens at the end of this film which takes her out of the game potentially?
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what I'm thinking.
And then we're getting
also
a little bit of, though, with the hope and kind of the optimism, like with the voiceover, is something is clearly changed, which I think is going to set up, having this bookend is going to set up for the next movie, which is why I love it so much, because I feel like it's a perfect cog that fits in the storyline the way that they've structured it.
Yep. Something else people were talking about, there being no invisible jet, to which I say, how do you know?
Boom.
You
Boom!
know?
The invisible jet is all over this trailer.
It was everywhere.
It was all over the
I saw it in at least 7 shots. So, you know. And then the relationship. A lot of people are very pro it, but I saw a couple negative comments on her and Chris Pine and Steve Trevor's relationship here, which I think is female badassery right now, as she is saving his butt multiple times.
What did you hear negative about that?
I heard that we don't need another. I saw a couple tweets. We don't need another Lois Lane out of Steve, which I think that's exactly what we need.
Yeah,
I think we need a male Lois Lane.
Yeah,
and I think they give us
but
that
what about a male
visually.
Lois Lane realized the way that people want Lois Lane to be? Like, just because, you know, we're trying to focus on getting female characters to be more accurate and balanced representation. So if we get the male version of that, that means that can also be evolved too.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't need to be a totally passive character. Like, clearly you could be the peak male, and next to an Amazonian princess that's superhuman, you're gonna pale in comparison.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the fact that they even do the direct, like, Christopher Reeve's Superman, like,
Bracelet.
when they're in the alleyway and she deflects the bullet, and you look at it, it is identical. Like, same framing, same everything.
There's
like,
a
it's
GIF
clearly
going
like
around,
a
or GIF.
Tribute.
Yeah, a
I
gift
don't
that's like the
know.
tribute that that Entertainment Weekly's Anthony Bresnikan, I believe, he tweeted, which looks awesome. It's just like a side-by-side comparison where it's flat out like this is your Lois Lane. That is a
Yes. Well, you may bring a good point. I think we have some stills throughout the trailer, so we'll just kind of take. We'll go to the beginning of those, the first one of those, and
Let's
then
start at the very beginning.
It's a
Yes.
very good place to start.
that's a very, very good place
Did
to
I
start.
just sound really good?
Yeah.
Because to
Yeah.
me, I sounded really good.
So this is, again, just to say those aerials, when we find them, on Themyscira, like, you see the Amazonians, like, they own that town. It looks like the war has come to their island, and they're dealing with that situation.
Dealing with learning what bullets are and what men are and what's happening here.
So right here, she's like, I learned the hard way. So clearly, do you think this is someone big that goes down?
Yes.
Someone important.
Yes.
Can you tell, is that Connie Nielsen, or is that, I guess it wouldn't be Connie Nielsen, because she's
No.
playing Hippolyta, the queen.
So I don't know how big is.
We think it's, or a lot of people think it's. Oh, is it?
Which
Is it
word?
Robin Wright? Is it
Where
Robin
is
Wright's
he?
character?
Oh no, it's the chief. They think the chief healer of the Amazons in the comics.
I feel like it might be is that not Robin Wright? Because wouldn't it make sense for Robin Wright's character to die, to go down?
Well,
Would
That's
it make
how early
sense
on
for
this
Robin
is.
Wright's character to be leaping into a frame like that, though?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. No. I'm
this-
imagining she's like the warrior queen. Not the warrior queen. Connie Nielsen plays Hippolyta, the queen, and then I think Robin Wright's character is more like the head badass of the Amazons. Like
I think
she's
that's
like the
actually her
warrior.
official title.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Totally head
Badass.
badass.
Wait, but how far into this is this? Is this their first interaction ever with Chris Pine, with Steve Trevor? Like, what?
Well, we've
But
seen
that's-
we've seen the scenes with him washing up on the beach, right?
Right.
Yeah. So this is,
So
and he's still wet.
Right. So right after that,
So
we're
that's
thinking.
what-
Yeah, so it looks like some fighting has hit the beaches of Themyscira, and they're doing what they do. I mean,
well,
they're
the Germans show up. We know.
Yeah.
It's clearly German.
So the question is, when did Steve Trevor arrive out? Maybe Steve Trevor was involved in some combat in the ocean,
That's
and
what
his
I'm
boat gets
thinking,
shot
and
down. He
that-
washes up at shore, and then they show
And they
up.
follow
right.
him because they show the German coin.
Right. So do you think that happens in like a similar time frame? Like basically we see that guy, Steve
think
Trevor, go
that's-
down at sea, and now they're obviously
Yeah.
fighting
First thing,
Germans.
yeah.
I think that basically they're like, hey, here's this guy. Oh crap! Here's a whole bunch of other. What is happening?
We can handle one right now. No problem.
Yeah,
All right,
like
let's hit the next picture.
Okay.
I wanna see
Okay.
it. So this is where everybody is saying Dr. Poison, Dr. Poison. Well, this is where it's
Right,
starting.
you see that gas mask in there, and like the deadliest possible weapon.
I just think this is a great image that they threw into the trailer without telling us exactly who our villain is. They're starting to give hints. And I don't know, if Johnny was here, he might be saying this is one big old swerve. A lot of people were saying.
Why? Because they talk about something dangerous and then show the villain right after
Yeah.
that? I don't think so, because she's not a well-known character. I think that's a
Yeah.
good way to introduce who that person is. I mean,
Some people are saying Medusa. That there's a bunch of different different guesses on who it could be.
Well,
so.
also, I mean, like we saw the Robin suit so much in in Batman's world, and we never saw him. So maybe this is a little bit of a
oh, interesting.
Easter egg, you know?
Okay, but then the next image, we actually see the
Yeah.
woman with the crazy half mask, and which some
face.
people are saying it's Dr. Poison.
I am in that same camp.
Oh, someone just pointed out the
Elena
gas
Naya.
mask was very Sandman. The original
Yeah.
Sandman's Dream
Yeah.
Theater. That's very cool.
any actress named Elena, I like. So
Yeah, I see some
I
people
already
in the chat room are also commenting that it was Robin Wright leading the horse charge. Yeah, but is that not necessarily her taking the bullet too? Because I feel like she's going to be an important character, and then like
we don't
she
know that person goes
can't
down officially either.
we don't.
They imply it.
We don't, but in the
Yeah.
mini movie that is the trailer, it
Right.
seems that way. You're right. It could totally not be what it is. But anyway, so now it feels like
It's interesting.
she's getting ready to go out into the world.
But this looks more DC-like than anything we've seen so far in the trailer. This is like our dark
Yeah.
Do you
corner
think,
place.
because of the mythology that Wonder Woman draws from, do you think we're gonna get like a what is it like you mentioned Medusa or the
Greek
the
mythology,
Minotaur,
you
right?
mean,
Some of
more?
those
Yeah.
challenges, like is she gonna have to go through tests to get like this stuff, or like For some reason, I feel like, is she going to have to go through some
Odysseus-esque.
challenge to win the sword, right? And then win the armor, just like, what is it, Clash of the Titans, like that kind of thing?
Oh, I would love
We
that.
haven't seen too much of that in the trailer, but we will be getting another trailer in which I do think we're going to see more about the villain and more about her journey, what she has to do in order to do that. So that would be interesting if we started seeing that.
Yeah, like, otherwise, what is it like? Just, here's your dress, here's your sword, go get it.
Go kick some
It's in a
ass.
big
go,
room.
girl.
Right.
We've kept
I
these in
played
a big
too many
rooms for
video
you.
games. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, no, you have to go on a quest. You have to find it. You have to earn it.
That's what I'm thinking. She opens
Level
the door,
up your
she steps
armor.
on something, and then shit happens. They're like, oh, did you
Yeah.
think you could just leave the island? You think you
Yeah.
could just take this sword?
Little did you know.
But look at the close-up of the costume here. It's just that shot right there. That took my breath away a little bit.
You
And
were
that's
still in bed, though, to be fair.
I was still in bed. Actually, I don't know if I saw that one until I got out of bed. I think I was already sitting down with coffee at this time, and it was on third viewing. To be honest, no, it was a website that actually had stills. Like, I missed it the first couple of times I saw the trailer. Then now it sticks out like crazy. But
Yeah.
and then of course,
Yeah.
Maybe the coolest shot of the entire trailer, honestly,
This
just
is
for
my
what it
favorite.
stands for. Because this is where I'll go on my little spiel for a second. This is not being talked about enough. This movie is not being talked about enough, and I know that there are different theories on why, but I think a lot of it. I'm sorry to come off like that person who is such a feminist because that word has a negative connotation now. But oh my
Only to
god.
men.
People weren't tweeting about this today. It wasn't trending #1 all day. There was National Sandwich Day that was trending #1, and like 2 and 3 and 4 were taken up by other random things. This is an amazing trailer. Wonder Woman should be in everybody's tweets right now. And if you're a woman out there, if you're a man, you should be tweeting about it too. But if you're a woman out there and you're not going to see this movie, you should be ashamed of yourself.
that's why I think this movie is going to do incredible though. Like I said, if this
But
movie
it's
is
not
good,
doing that well on social media.
But okay, but I think
think
it
this
is
is gonna
like the
help
third
change
trending
it.
thing today. It's trending #3 right now.
if this was BVS and it was trending #3, they would be like, "What did we do wrong?"
But it's also coming out in June.
That's
This was
true,
like,
yeah.
I mean, it's coming out in June.
That's true, but a trailer dropped.
I
I do
think-
think it'll build.
I will
do
also
think
say
it'll build.
that taking up a lot of the bandwidth for social media these days is our election, which is 6
That
days
is true.
away.
And
5
our
days away.
sandwiches.
5 days away, and National Sandwich Day for sure. Now we do prioritize
Yes.
it. Adam and I prioritize food quite frequently.
It goes
Yeah.
food, politics, females.
But even the
I'm gonna
NFL,
switch.
the NFL is having rating saggings because of the election. So don't be surprised if things really start to ramp up.
We just lost half the viewers in the live chat because Roxy elucidated the fact that it was National Sandwich Day, and everybody just pieced out. They're like, "Oh, free sandwich, free sandwich, free sandwich."
Yeah,
guys,
sorry,
come
guys.
back.
Guys, please, I'm so sorry, guys. Come back to us. Go see Wonder Woman.
So
but the point is that last shot that we had where she's actually obviously protecting Steve, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then, of course, it is the, which many people have pointed out, that it is the analogous scene to the great first Superman movie with Clark and Lois. Even their costumes look identical, and a lot of people were doing a great. I wish we did. We wish we found it before they were doing that
GIF.
sign. But yeah, the
side-by-side
side-by-side
homage.
Wait, I know who tweeted it. I'll find it. And we'll have him
but
find
it's
it.
super cool, and then it's such a great the way just the bullets off the bracelets. Every time we freaking see that,
Yeah.
it's like better and better. And then in the trailer after that, she does 5 of them.
The overhead shot of her deflecting several of them is amazing. That's the one
That's
that I
crazy.
get excited about.
So that was like I was saying, like, yeah, I got hit with that shot, and I was like, and then it comes with that other one, and you're like, you're on the ground again, or in bed. If you were in bed, you had nowhere to fall.
But we also don't know that Steve wasn't letting her protect
Oh look,
her.
here it is, slow mo. Oh,
I just retweeted that side by side.
No, it's not
too.
side by side. I'm talking about the GIF one that was really
yeah.
cool that came from this morning.
I think she means the same one.
No, this is it. It's coming from at Comic Book Debate because you can actually see the action, which is cool.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. It's full Jiffy. It's Jiffy popping over there. All right, do we have another image? What do we have?
And
What are we
hopefully
looking at?
there's another handful of those that are in there that kind of, play to that.
Do you guys
Yeah.
think? I mean, how many more full trailers are they going to give for this movie?
One.
Probably one. You think?
I think one full trailer.
What do you guys think,
I
chat
think
roll?
one teaser, one full.
Wow.
I think you're going to probably get two more full
really?
trailers for this movie, just because of what Roxy is saying, and I think that there is a tremendous potential for this movie to do, like, it's almost like it's bringing me back to Batman '89 with the earliness of the heavy marketing, like a full trailer this early. The second one, the Comic-Con one one was pretty big too.
Do you think this was trying to get it on people's radar, so it's a good idea that they did this early?
I
or
think
do you
it was
that they
Doctor
wasted
Strange
it?
is a big one. Doctor Strange comes out today, right? Going into the holiday season, Doctor Strange. Everyone's going to see this before Doctor Strange. People are going to see this on IMAX screens, and I'm going to see this tonight on IMAX screen at 7 o'clock. It's going to be
pretty cool.
freaking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, so
Part of me almost wishes that I could have waited. Like,
I think everyone's going to get excited about it
Right.
too. Like, okay, now I want to ask you guys, and chat roll, please chime in on this. Compared to the 4 DC movies that we've seen trailer for right now. I'm talking about Man of Steel. I'm talking about Batman v Superman, Suicide Squad, and this one. As far as trailer hype and excitement, where do you think this falls like in that? Because trailers can be deceptive.
Well, trailer hype, obviously it's falling behind, you know, for the first launch. In terms of quality, I'd put this right up there with the first Suicide Squad trailer, which was,
which was a great trailer.
Amazing.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But this got me excited about it.
But this had more movie substance, I would argue.
sure.
Like, that was a great trailer, but you could, and a lot of people said, and Mike Kalinowski said, like, you could see the seams possibly showing there.
I feel like after watching this trailer, I know this is such a dumb thing to say because we've seen it happen so many times, but how can we have a bad movie? Like, this trailer
knock
makes
wood,
you
knock
look...
wood.
Knock wood,
Yeah.
but when you watch this, you're like, this is a good movie. Like, this got to be a good movie.
The storyline, because it all goes back to story, and this one has a solid story structure that we're seeing in the trailer, where Suicide Squad visually was really cool.
What got you more
But it was like-
excited? Were you more excited for Squad or...
Well, I've just been the most excited for Wonder Woman always, so I'm more excited when I see the trailer. But I do think that the first time I saw a Squad trailer, because my expectations were so much lower,
Right.
I think I was just blown away.
Right.
For this one, I'm like, you better be good. Okay, you were good, you know?
Yeah. What about you? What did you find it, Elena?
I mean, I loved this one, obviously. The Suicide Squad trailer, I think, was good, but I think
was
that it was a
amazing.
lot more flash than substance. And this one is
That
showing
Suicide
that we
Squad
have a,
trailer, it did a lot. It got a lot of hype. There
Sold
was a lot
tickets.
of,
it was
trending
cool,
on that.
but it was a lot of, like, look at the characters you could be for Halloween.
I'm
I
still
kind of
blown
felt
away.
a
And we're going to
little
talk
bit.
about later about Suicide Squad. I'm still blown away how well that movie did for
Right.
how good the film was. I personally would
liked
put
it.
this trailer behind the Man of Steel. Like, the first Man of Steel broke my heart. Like, that first trailer for that movie. And then I would put this Wonder Woman one right behind it
Wow.
for me. Like, and probably for a different reason than you, because I never was that excited for a Wonder Woman movie until I saw the Comic-Con trailer. It's just like, it's a character like, I know from here and I know from there, but I'm a boy. I was raised in the 80s. I'm not like,
A diehard Wonder Woman.
not a diehard Wonder Woman fan. And like, this movie just looks like I think this is going to be a 4-quadrant. Everybody's going to want to see it. Everyone's going to want to be like, empower your daughters, empower your sons, treat them like everybody, and every other countries too. I think it's going to be an international sensation.
Remember what I said? You should be ashamed of yourself if you don't go see this. Shame!
You will feel the shame.
Shame, 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 shame.
And you also just miss out on a good movie.
Hopefully.
So, both.
We're talking about the
hoping.
movie.
I'm
Like,
hoping.
a good movie.
We
Maybe.
hope.
But yeah.
Do we have more
so
pictures, or was that all the pictures?
was
in
that
the
all the
trailer?
pictures? No, there may have been some more pictures. I think. We were just talking. This was like her leaping around the trenches, which is again, you're saying like I think
She
the
look
way
like
she's
she's
gonna.
underwater in this, like.
That's the thing is like she moved. Yeah, she's. It's not like
It's just-
underwater, but
Doesn't it look
It
like
is
that?
very fluid movement. Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes
She went
sense.
to go hang out with Aqua.
you can see Zack Snyder's
fishy friend.
imprint on this too in the best way possible.
100%.
And then that's why I think Zack Snyder working with someone like a Patty Jenkins is really a great place for
Great
him to
marriage.
be.
Yeah.
Let somebody else worry about the story and those little those
Don't
beats.
worry your pretty little head with the story.
Zach, make
as a
everything
director.
just paint with visuals, Zack Snyder.
Yes.
And then this is the lasso, which we got less lasso in this trailer than the first one.
We want more
Yeah.
lasso.
But
Give us lasso or give us death.
the way she used the lasso in the fighting in the last
Yeah, it's
trailer was
cool.
unbelievable. But it was just to a little remind you here.
Yep.
Don't
yep.
forget I've got this
Don't
in
forget.
my pocket. Yeah, exactly.
Don't forget about my lasso.
All right, so I think that's what we have for Wonder Woman trailer. I think we.
Can I offer you guys a theory as I sit here listening to you
Oh,
guys?
yeah.
please do.
Producer Zach in the booth. I think I might have an idea of how she falls apart before BVS and sort of disappears.
Okay.
I think if you look in this trailer, like they really make a point with Steve Trevor calling out because what they called World War I, the war to end all wars.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone thought it was going to be. It might be a good way to get that Wonder Woman in World War II that everyone wanted if we see a glimpse of her in World War II losing faith in humanity, because what did we all just go through and not not even
It meant
decades
nothing.
later,
It
meant
and they're
nothing.
right back at it.
Interesting.
All right,
just
Mark
I
Young's
heard,
prediction.
I like
That's a
that
great theory.
I like that
love
theory. One of the
Zach, you
common
have the
theories.
best theories, dude. Like, you really do have some great, like, your Fantastic Four stuff. I like your style.
I like that better than what I'm hearing to be the most common one, which is that Steve Trevor actually does not make it out of this movie alive, and then Wonder Woman decides that there's no humanity left, which would be a very typical
Weak.
girl loses boy, girl goes insane.
Yeah, I'd like to see him go the way of Peggy Carter for a while. Like, why can't they hang out for a while and he gets old for a little bit?
Yeah. I don't know if he. I mean, what are our bets? Does Chris Pine make it into another movie? In anything more than?
I mean, are you excluding the
flashbacks?
possibility of that World War
The
II,
aging.
World War II with both of them in it movie?
I love that.
I'm not excluding
That would be like the Empire of the Wonder Woman, because that would
Strikes Back.
It would kind of of the Sun,
Right, exactly.
which is a World War II movie. Oh my God! It just went back around. I won. Wow. See, so the synapses fire when like things are good. Those are really interesting theories. Yeah, it's cool. And Chris Pine seems great in a role like this. I'm just like, yes.
Yes.
We
I would love a World War II too, just to keep the alliteration going. Wonder Woman, World War I, World War II.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, while that sounds
WW.
cool, I don't know if that seems
WW.
unlikely. What would you? I don't know.
But to answer your question with another question, you know, where have we seen a star like Chris Pine of that same level, you know, be killed off in the first episode of what should be a franchise, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's more likely than not that we'll see him later. It would be cool if they kill him off. They had
Unless
the
he
balls to
was
do that.
uber busy and was like, I can only sign on to one movie.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a good point because he's that great level of star that he's perfect for this role, and if they do kill him off, it will have emotional resonance, and it makes sense because we've talked about there's no way to get Chris Pine playing a modern-day Steve Trevor, so maybe they've made this commitment, which is great, which is a great
Or
commitment.
maybe he's like Slipknot in Suicide Squad. Ooh. And he's out and...
Very early in this film. He makes it...
Right after he washes up on shore and they just ask
People
him.
would be like, what?
This whole film is just Wonder Woman, Diana Prince walking around the Louvre, just despondent, like throughout the film. All that trailer is from
Looking
the
at
first
art.
15 minutes of the film.
All right.
Okay, so it wasn't all great news, or was it, in the world of DC movie news? As many of you know by now, The Flash lost its director. Rick Famuyiwa left the film. So, you know, immediately... You know, people reacted, what the hell's going on? Why can't DC keep a director in that spot? I know Bobby Bognar expresses his emotions through songs, so he had his own thoughts on the issue. Bobby, did you have a feeling about this? I thought you might.
Why can't the Flash keep a director? Why can't the Flash keep a director? Even Aquaman has a great director, but why can't the Flash keep a director? That's from my soul.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well,
I can tell you what he said, why he split.
Please do.
Would that help your soul, maybe?
please
Will you
do.
sing it?
Trust me that you don't want me to. When I was approached by Warner Brothers and DC about the possibility of directing The Flash, I was excited about the opportunity to enter this amazing world of characters that I loved growing up and still do to this day. So that sounds nice.
Yeah.
So far, so
Yeah,
good.
not
I'm leaving.
not Josh tranking it.
Yep. Oh, God. I was also excited to work with Ezra Miller, who's a phenomenal young actor. Good, he's trying to work with him in the future, clearly. I pitched a version of the film in line with my voice, humor, and heart. While it's disappointing that we couldn't come together creatively on the project, I remain grateful for the opportunity. I will continue to look for opportunities to tell stories that speak to a fresh, generational, topical, and multicultural point of view. I wish Warner Brothers, DC, John Berg, Jeff Johns, and Ezra Miller all the best as they continue their journey into the Speed Force.
That is the press release from a guy whose check is clearing, not doing the work.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
he's obviously disappointed, but that's remaining a company man.
Interesting,
best
though,
way to handle
that
it.
he says that they couldn't come together creatively and then mentions the things that he likes to do, which is speak to fresh generational, topical, and multicultural points of view. So is that us to assume that this movie does not, in fact, do those things?
It seems like kind of a little bit of a backhanded dig without fully being one, like a very on
He's
the
stating his
surface.
case, I think, in a
Yeah.
really smart way. I think you're exactly right. He's stating like what he wanted to put in the film, and I don't know. What's your take on it, Roxy? Because like we haven't talked about this, but I kind of feel like you might. I'm interested to hear what you think. I
don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I know that a lot of people are kind of bummed. not that I know so much of his work, but I know Dope. I saw Dope, so I know about as much as anybody at this table, I think.
Right.
And I liked Dope. It's not like I was dying for this director. I needed him to be the guy, and I think better now than later down the line. And it gives us room for maybe somebody awesome to step in. And right now, I think with Jeff Johns really owning his power and coming in and being like, hey, I'm your Feige, I'm going to run shit right now, he probably looked at Rick and was like, yeah, we're not on the same page. Got to get you out of the DCU. I'm not having another Sneider situation. Dope was very beautiful, as is Sneider's work. Maybe a similar issue.
Oh, wow. I don't get that at all.
Really?
I thought, I like Dope a lot. And I thought it had more depth for sure than
definitely more depth
Right.
than Snyder's stuff.
No,
but it was
I think
very beautiful.
Yeah, Roxy's kind of saying like from Jeff Johns' point of view, who's now taking that control, and I think I was kind of on that same like point that like Warner Brothers said some conflicting things when they started this whole thing. Like they said that they wanted their movies to be auteur-driven, director-driven thing, right? And then you have on the other side, and I know everyone hates the comparison, whatever, you have to with Marvel, which is the way Feige runs it, like a TV show. He's a showrunner. And I think you can't have both. You can't have individual films and then tie them together because then the ties seem, tenuous and forced. So you either have to commit to telling this one broad story and then bring the people in that can do that. And I think that's probably what happened, and I agree. I mean, like, there's no way for us to know what would yield the better film without being so far inside. Like, maybe the Rick Famuyiwa, or...
Maybe what yields better film individually doesn't fit into the overall structure as well, and people who can look at the overall picture versus somebody who's done. I mean, Dope is an awesome movie, but it's also just like, tonally and making sure that it's all cohesive, because somebody who comes from an independent film background who has more creative control as a director, when you're then going into something that's a big mainstream project, you do have to make sure that it fits in the universe.
A lot of people are asking if I was trying to say that this was a race thing. Did I misspeak? Because
you said multicultural is one of the things.
Oh, that it was going to be not those things.
I don't think
that was his words, and I was just wondering how we interpret it.
I took that to mean that is definitely not going to be the underlying theme of the Flash movie now. It doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be elements of that there, but maybe that's what he's, maybe we're to ascertain the idea that like Rick Famuyiwa was saying, like, this is a movie about this, and we're putting the veneer of a superhero thing on top of it, but at its core, it's a movie about,
the statement he was trying to make doesn't.
Further breaking that down, we've talked about Cyborg being in the movie. Do we feel like that is something that's going to be less now? Is that what anybody's interpreting this as?
No.
I hadn't thought of that until you just said it. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. I don't feel a fervor for Cyborg.
Yeah.
Well,
you have no reason to now. You haven't really seen him do much.
But I mean,
we saw him chill at the back of a room a little bit. Yeah, that was about it.
You saw him scream in a digital wall, and then you saw him say in the Justice League trailer, like, I didn't know you were real. Like, you haven't seen nothing from Cyborg. You have no reason to be attached in any way to him.
Except for his body, which I'm attached to a lot.
Right.
Me too, actually.
Very attached to.
Even character-wise, we were all so excited to see so many of the Suicide Squad characters come to life, And I don't feel anyone getting thrilled and excited about the potential of the Cyborg, and then a standalone movie, too, down the line.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, there are a lot of people that still don't believe that that's still going to happen like that, and I don't either. If that's not as this new plan takes place, it seems like what they've been doing over the past 6-8 months is shedding a lot of the things that they maybe foolishly front-loadedly committed to, and they're kind of ironing it out and course-correcting and figuring out what it is. And listen, they have their slots. If they move them around, we know we're going to get a Batman movie in there. Like, listen, all we want is for what's going to be best for the fans. And like I said, it's sad because it sounded like such a great fit.
Yeah,
like,
it did.
You get this production team that makes movies that look like that, and then you get a core story. But that's how you make a great superhero stories. You make it just a great movie, and then you layer that other stuff on top. So
there's been a lot of talk.
As long as I get Shazam and you get Swamp Thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I think that you have a better chance than you do right now. Sorry to say it. There's been a lot of talk in the chat about Kevin Smith directing the movie. Yeses and nos in there.
I don't see why that would be a good idea.
It's not a good fit,
I don't even think Kevin Smith thinks that would be a good idea. Like, he openly admits that when he does The Flash, he's basically
depending on everyone else in the room.
Yeah, I mean, like, because it's a show, and I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, but not necessarily like the way he directs movies. Like, I'm a fan of him as a character and his podcast and his enthusiasm and all that stuff, and those early movies. But there's nothing about his work that makes me think that he'd be right for this.
Okay. Interesting.
That's my opinion. I don't know. What do you think? You're closer to the Smodverse, perhaps.
Well, I don't, like you said, I don't even know if that's something that it was offered to him. Like, do you think that you'd be right for this? That he would be like, yeah, I'm the man for the job. There's no inclination of him being like, Flash is the movie for me. He's done a good job in what we've seen him do on the Flash, the TV show. I love the episode he directed. Yeah. Obviously, they liked it enough that I gave him three more. Back, yeah. And I hear that they're really good, and I can't wait to see those. We're dealing in a very different Earth. So we've got it a lot more
meaning
campy.
This film?
Meaning
this film compared to that.
Well, I pitch Kevin directing the film within a film, like any caught cell phone video of the Flash by a bystander. I pitch
that.
Kevin
I'll
for
buy.
Yeah.
Cool.
That I'll buy. What do you think, Kevin Smith, for the role, for the job?
I mean, I like the idea of the name being tossed out, but not actually being attached. I like people being like, "Hey, don't forget Kevin Smith is good," and us going, "Yeah, he is." And don't give him this movie though. He's still great.
Yeah. I have a theory. I think they've already found another director, and I'm pretty sure it's Tim Miller.
You really think so?
Oh. That's your boy.
Well, I mean, what was it announced this week? That he was producing some other film about someone that runs very fast, attached to a Sonic the Hedgehog film? Okay, what are Sonic's powers? Sonic the Hedgehog, clearly code word for the Flash film. Also, Junkie XL, who's worked on previous DC films, exited Deadpool. He's coming with Tim Miller.
Really good.
Because Junkie XL's already been there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm half joking, but half not right now. Because I don't think Tim Miller's next directing project has been announced, right? I mean, am I wrong on that? I know he's producing this thing and the Sonic the Hedgehog thing. It isn't Tim Miller.
Paul Grant says it isn't Tim Miller, so it must not be.
What about Sonic the Hedgehog?
That would be a nice pick, though. Tim Miller's a good match for that. Humor, action.
Oh my God, Robert Zemeckis.
Robert
Zemeckis. Barry Allen is Marty McFly with powers.
Death
Lightning speed,
Flash.
time travel. Says Barrett.
A lot of people want Edgar Wright, but doesn't it seem unlikely that Edgar Wright, who left for such a similar sort of reason, it's like that's almost direct correlation. But then he would say, no, but I can fit into.
But I do love Edgar Wright, so.
Oh, that would be I think that would be a dream pick.
Yeah,
I would love that movie.
Cool.
With his Ant-Man exit, I just couldn't see him getting back. I
don't know. I potentially could, just to be like, okay, well, I didn't do this one,
Marvel,
but see what I can do with this. I could see that.
He obviously has
totally
an interest in doing a superhero film. He put a lot of time into Ant-Man.
Yeah.
So maybe he's got a lot of great ideas, and I think that's just damn near perfect. Yeah.
And I really wanted him to do the Ready Player One. That is not going to happen. So
what do you mean?
Is Edgar Wright's not doing? He's not going to direct.
Steven Spielberg is.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg is, which is going to be cool. But he took all the Spielberg references out because he doesn't want to reference himself, and that bothers me.
Sure, okay.
But Edgar Wright, if he's not going to do that one, I would love to see him.
To be honest, if they have all those other references in there, I'll be blown away.
But I feel like don't direct a tribute to yourself.
So
which I
kind
of feel like it is.
Adam, who do you like as director for Flash?
Well, honestly, if it's not like someone like a Tim Miller, people are saying like Gavin O'Connor is a good idea. I feel like you got to get this. You got to take a page off of what Marvel's doing and get kind of like a smaller indie or someone from TV.
But then, do you think they would have had creative differences with?
Maybe someone that's a little bit less of an auteur. Because I think that with this situation, you had a guy that knew the film that he wanted to make, and I think he sold Warner Brothers on his film. Right. And I think now the shift has been Warner Brothers is dictating the kind of film that they want, meaning DC now is speaking more. Hopefully from that mind of Jeff Johns, that they know the film they want to make. And I feel like before they were working backwards. We're like, you're going to pitch us that film.
That makes sense.
Right now so that's why I think it could work.
I'm reading an article right now about 7 directors the Flash movie should be looking at.
Okay.
And one of the people is F. Gary Gray. What do you guys think about him after Straight Outta Compton? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
what is he doing now? Oh, he's doing like Fast and Furious.
Yeah, Fast 8.
Well, obviously, so much like Sonic the Hedgehog, he will have had experience with things moving very quickly, but I think he's going to be busy on this that Fast movie.
Flash and the Furious.
I love that we keep going back to that.
Yeah, because if you direct, there are people that are going to think this. If you do something fast, and you're the guy that directs fast.
There are a lot of code names. Ant-Man's code name was Bigfoot. So just saying, there's a lot. I could see Sonic being a code name.
That seems kind of ironic, doesn't it?
You know what? Well, Captain America was Frostbite.
Really?
Winter Soldier
the first
was
one?
Frostbite.
Oh, Winter Soldier was.
Okay, we don't have that much time. We
Okay,
gotta
so
move
what are the
on.
other directors? You said F. Gary Gray.
Oh, I was just naming one of them. We had already talked about a
were
few.
there any
Edgar Wright was
others?
one of them.
Adam McKay.
Adam McKay was one of them. It was mostly like that.
Lexi Alexander.
Lexi Alexander's kind of interesting.
Lexi Alexander. I mean, Punisher Warzone.
Yeah.
Cool.
And she really cares
Alfonso
about
Gomez Rejon, who did Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, which people were obsessed with from Sundance.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I'm
here's
just
an
stuck on
interesting thing
Edgar
about
Wright.
the Flash movie. Kiersey Clemons, who was cast. Oh, ladies and gentlemen,
Holy
walking into the
smoke!
back end, we have an appearance by a very spiffy,
What do you
well-dressed
think
Mikey
his audition
Christmas
was
present.
for?
Mikey Christmas, well-dressed.
I wonder
Oh,
what his
boy.
audition was for. At first, I thought you were in
Mortician.
like a what's it called when you're Christian and you're not Jewish
Mormon?
and you're in a
A Mormon? I'm going door to door.
Like a
a
cloth?
church,
A collar?
church man,
priest
a
collar?
priest, a priest.
Oh, wow. It took you that
Guys,
long to come
He
up
looks
with
more
priest.
like Constantine than a
I
priest.
think with the headset, you look like an air traffic controller.
No, now I didn't
nice.
see him from the
suit.
front at first. I
Sully.
thought you look really good.
Thanks, kiddo.
You're welcome.
Thanks, guys.
What's up?
No, but you got to line yourself up with that. So move the
You're not on
the.
camera. Just throw that
Get
to
in
the
there.
side.
He was
How about
trying
this?
to take your spot. He's trying to take your seat with his guitar
I?
thing.
How am I
No,
do-
he was trying to take yours.
Oh,
Hey, we've moved on and we don't have that much time, but
Yeah,
just
let's
briefly,
go on.
your Wonder Woman thoughts?
that was fantastic. I like goosebumps. Like it's fantastic. I don't know what.
She's a hottie with a body.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Just
I
everything.
mean,
the humor
were you-
played and.
Were you like excited by the fact that like, you know, it's one thing to give us like a shorter trailer with lots of good looking
I'm
stuff and then a
glad-
second trailer looking that good?
I'm glad we didn't. We still don't know plot. Like though, like kind of we do, but
feel like we have a
nothing.
story.
No big
We got
spoiler.
it.
Everyone's. Some people are upset we didn't get a villain. I'm like
I think we got some villains.
some villain,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Possibly.
All right.
I think it was great.
How many more trailers do you think there'll be?
One, but I
Either
hope we
one.
don't get.
I
any
think
more.
at least two. I think at least two with this early, but
I think
And
one
then
and a teaser.
Your brief thoughts on Flash director getting that the axe. You think that's a bad
I
thing for
think
us?
we talked a little bit about. I think it's a Jeff Johns.
That's kinda
but
what
he's
we were
Feige
saying.
now.
Yeah,
I think
that's kinda
their
what we were
vision is
saying.
This, and I think directors are kind of not gelling with that. So he's kind of like, well, this is what we're doing, guys.
awesome.
Which is
yeah.
smart.
I think so. So that's great. So I think that's interesting. It's mostly positive reaction to that. I wonder how much of that is colored by that amazing Wonder Woman trailer, where it's like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
you were starting to have more faith in the team. So just to jump on that, Mikey, Kiersey Clemons, who was cast by the dope director, apparently still in the cast, and apparently she is Iris West, but we might see a cameo of her in Justice League. Do you think that makes sense? What do you think?
To see
I
her
love
in
it.
Justice League?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's
They've-
still on board, probably, right?
Yeah.
They announced that.
This was
They
just
tweeted
reported
out.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
that
in
was-
order-
Kroll tweeted it.
You guys know this. In order for you to actually get into the movie, so much more than a director just casting you, like you have to go through
Right.
the studio. So it's not like because he left,
I
they
think
would be like,
everything
now
happens
you're
for a
gone
reason.
too.
Yeah.
She had to probably go through so many tests, especially as a relatively unproven
But
actress.
I think she wouldn't have been brought in otherwise. So that's why I'm glad that relationship was established, even if it fell apart.
Yeah.
She probably wrote him a nice thank you card.
I think it was
sorry
in
that you had to leave.
I really
wicked happy
Thank
I'm
you for
staying.
getting me in
Yeah,
the
it's like
door.
you're not mad. I'm still staying, right?
Yeah.
I kind of
I'm
need
not
this gig.
expecting to. Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. It's great. It's great casting. So that makes me think we're going to see some of Flash's world, much like we're going to see some of Batman's world. We're going to see Mirror. We're going to see the supporting characters.
Yeah.
Does that concern you guys at all? That Justice League is going to be more of that? Just wait, like not about its own movie and just more advertising the movies to come. A little bit of like what some people complained about Age of Ultron.
No.
I think
No.
I think you need to show their world a little bit. You know, we're gonna get a little bit of Gordon, each person's individual world. I think you gotta have.
I kind of wouldn't even care if it was just a 2-hour long commercial for each one of them. Like, it's kind of great.
And it's like, why just order steak if you can have a buffet that steak is on?
I mean, obviously that's why you go to dinner with friends and you can have each a bite of everything.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
the best.
And again, I mean,
Like when we go to dinner, I'm gonna eat
yeah.
your food.
How much of
You're
that
gonna be
movie
okay.
would you devote to just watching Aquaman being hit with waves while like, there's a bottle?
I
Yeah.
would just have
I'm
that
good for
as a-
20 minutes of it myself. I
me
mean,
too.
you know.
Me too. I'm down. I'm down
Hang
for
out
that.
with me, please. So that's cool. So we also have a trailer for the Suicide Squad extended feature. Do we have time to look at that, Zach, or should we just talk about it? So there is the trailer for the Suicide Squad.
Whatever your
movie.
answer is, we're just gonna keep.
Yeah, I don't know, but like, so
Pal.
we get to see some more Joker stuff in this. I mean, it looks like we're gonna get. Like,
Now, is it out already digitally?
No, November 15th and then December 13th.
I'm not falling
remember?
for it. Not gonna do it.
No, and
I'll
that
buy
was the
it.
thing. The commercial actually said
Yeah.
like available now,
Yeah.
and it's not available.
But you're not falling for what?
Well, the BVS where it was like buy it a month early, on
Buy it twice.
digital.
Oh,
and I did, and I bought
then
it.
you had to get it.
Yeah,
But
but
this,
yeah.
nope, I'm waiting for December.
I'm so
not-
proud of you.
So are you excited to
digital.
see more
Look
Joker
at
in
his
it?
suit. I can't even.
It's great. You should wear a suit all the time.
Just to a guy in the suit. Though.
Yeah,
This
but
is nothing for
you look great. You look
Oh,
great.
thanks, kiddo.
You're welcome.
Am I excited for it?
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. Of the 3 films now, Suicide Squad is my least favorite so far.
I would agree with that.
But again,
It's my favorite.
see, I'm just not a
Me
villains
too.
guy.
Really? Okay.
I'm not a villains guy.
I'm just a fun.
You like the fun, yeah.
I'm not saying it's the best by any means.
I see
It's the
exactly.
Yeah.
one
your
that
favorite.
I enjoyed.
Yeah, it was the one that I
most.
liked.
See, I think
And each time I saw it, I enjoyed it.
overall, I think
Whereas
3.
the other ones had a build.
The 3 films, Man of Steel is the best start to end, cognizant story, all
That
over.
was my least favorite. The
Man,
frickin'
BBS
dog,
those
man.
problems. I invited a
Oh,
guy to
good
watch
dog.
the Ultimate Cut last night because he had never seen it.
Okay.
He loved it. Said there was a lot of seasoning added, but he also found more plot holes added with the Ultimate Cut.
Okay.
So, but I don't know.
All right. Well.
But yes, more Joker, please, more.
Yeah, I want to see more Joker too.
gonna
Again,
get his stuff.
it's like to me, it's I don't want it to fix a broken film. Like I have problems with that film, but it's fine. Like,
Do you think
Yeah.
it will fix anything like BBS did?
I don't know.
I don't think
mean,
so.
I always
And
don't want
BBS
to.
didn't
I always
fix
like
my
that you only get
problems.
one mulligan like that from me.
You go one mulligan.
You only get one of those mulligans. Like we're okay with Batman v
Right.
Superman right now because of what happened.
Yeah.
But
this
because
was
the
kind
Ultimate Cut, but I don't want to see like here's an okay film that's much better when you buy like the extra 12 minutes.
Ayer
Like
said, he's
screw
like,
you.
this is my film. This is my film.
Yeah.
There is no Ultimate Cut like BBS. So now this came out, it's kind of like, do you think it's everyone bitching about the no Joker? Where was all the Joker stuff?
That's not even the problem. To me, what I didn't like about Suicide Squad was the plot holes, the terrible villains, the lack of complete motivation for the entire film to happen.
Villain.
That's not being
It
Terrible.
fixed
was
in
the
12
story.
minutes.
That's
It
that's
was just
my problem.
Again, visually great.
Yeah.
All these films look great visually. I mean, not one of these DC films can't
That's
go
true.
toe to toe with any of the Marvel films. I haven't seen Doctor Strange, but as far as just cinematography, they've been nailing that. We want to see story. We want to see character.
Can we talk about
Enchantress
something
not to
visually
suck.
great for a second?
Something that
Because
I wish I had with
speaking
me right
me
now.
Too. Okay,
'Cause I
have to
lost
say,
track of time.
I'm so bummed that I'm not wearing this because I literally wear mine every single day. I'm
What?
obsessed with my movement watch. I
Oh.
love it, guys. Spelled MVMT. They sent us these watches that we're like
Yeah,
completely
they take
obsessed
all
with.
the vowels out and pass on the savings to you.
Yes, they're amazing. There have been 500,000 watches that have been sold to people in 160 different countries. We're lucky enough to be some of them. And not only do they look great, they work really well. We would know more about the time right now. And they've got a cool backstory, guys, of these
I like the
two
backstory.
guys. Yeah, I loved it. I love that they took the time to actually talk to us about it.
Yeah, that was very cool.
These guys that wanted to be able to buy watches that were really, really great quality, but they couldn't afford these incredible
These
watches.
were friends in college
Yeah.
they bonded by one thing. It wasn't girls.
No, it was not
sports,
girls, not
comic
sports.
books.
It wasn't comic books.
Nope.
It wasn't beer. What these guys were into, and I find this so unique, is watches.
They were, but the watches are really, really expensive, as you guys know, and their watches are completely affordable. The one that I wear, I know it's $115, which is pretty great for a watch
Yeah.
that's gonna absolutely last me a long time. And mine's kind of this light blue green one. It's amazing. What do your guys look like?
I got the black on black one in the classic
I'm
format.
bronze and silver.
What-
Chrono.
Yeah, you got Chrono. Yeah, I love them. I got to even adjust. I adjusted mine myself.
You got the links out?
I did the links out. Now it fits perfect, which was actually kind of cool. It took all of like 10 minutes watching a YouTube video on how to
so
adjust
proud of
watch
you.
links. I was very
Like
proud.
changing your oil
So,
for the first time, you're all excited.
If you guys are interested, you
Completely
can
like
look at
that.
all of them. You can definitely shop by going to mvmtwatches.com/DC movie.
Does that save you any money, or does that just say you're a fan?
It does. You
Oh,
get free
good.
shipping, free returns, and 15% off if you guys go do that today. That's mvmtwatches.com/DC movie. Honestly, this is a product that I know that I can talk about because I love mine so much. So you guys should definitely go check them out. And don't forget to use our code, which is DC movie, and you'll get 15% off.
So great.
awesome.
And also, so just to cap with Suicide Squad, it is cited as one of the main reasons why Warner Brothers had a better than expected
Yeah, they had
third
a
quarter.
Good
Yeah.
quarter. Yeah.
They were not shrugging away that $800 million. So business is good over there.
800
That's the
mil,
good
take it or
thing.
leave it.
$125 million.
The best thing about like the DC movies is like they're making money off this stuff right now.
Yeah.
The only negative thing is like mixed reactions to the thing. So if now they can just kind of make the quality
And that's
better.
not even including the marketing. I mean, you go to Hot Topic and it's like Suicide Squad everything. So they're making
What was the #1 female costume for Halloween?
Harley and the Suicide Squad Harley.
Yeah.
Specifically.
So
And there was what I thought was really cool is there were a lot of males dressed as Harley.
Really?
I saw a lot of them.
I
It
think
was
John
cool.
Campea was, right? I saw him
really?
as a Harley, or at least
That's
some point I
great.
saw a picture
I
of
think
him.
it's awesome.
I loved it.
Because I went to LA Comic-Con, Stanley's LA Comic-Con.
How was that?
I can't believe I just mentioned we're an hour into the show. And this
I
is the
know.
first time I mentioned it. I talked to like a lot of DC
There was a
people.
whole thing to talk about.
Yeah, it was super great. Super great. Got to talk to people about DC movie news. Some people saw me, knew our show, obviously watched it. That was really cool.
Awesome.
And it was amazing. I mean, there was a lot of people from the Flash show that were there. You guys know I love that. I'll save that for TV time.
I haven't missed TV time.
You haven't missed TV time.
excited.
And I got to hear Mike Coulter speak, which I know that's on the other side of the pond from us, but he was amazing.
No, I listen to that guy talk all the time.
That guy just speaks like he's hot coffee, like just smooth and easy.
Smooth and easy to look at.
Doesn't have to raise his voice at all. I don't think he ever raised his voice.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
Okay, so apparently there was also some Justice League Dark updates from Doug Liman. Basically, he was just talking about how...
And they're calling it. Do we talk about that? It's being called Dark Universe. That's the film title. It's not Justice League.
Is that
Dark.
official?
We didn't talk
Yeah,
about that.
I think. I don't know if it's in that article, but it's called Dark Universe. That's
That
the
makes
film,
so much sense.
which is great. Great. 'cause
I-
attaching the Justice League to it is
Yeah.
kind of like, if you're not a fan of the comics, that's a shoehorn in there. That'd be like making a Justice League Ultimate, movie or whatever, United movie. I mean. So, but yeah, Dark Universe is being called.
Roxy, do you see anything in the article about release date? I was looking for it. It said that there was something about an update about the release date, because I know he's also
Maybe-
Edge of Tomorrow 2 that
Let me
the guy
check it
was
out.
working on.
Flash, they're gonna put it in that spot.
Oh, what, you think they're going to move Flash?
No, I think Flash is being moved.
Oh, you do?
Absolutely.
Huh.
I think my thoughts, and I could be wrong, like I was wrong that Wonder Woman trailer was going to be on Doctor Strange.
Oh, we already
You
talked
weren't
about
here.
how wrong you were.
They,
Yeah.
They said twice you were dead wrong.
Yeah.
I
We
was.
talked
I
about
owned
danced
up
on
to
it.
it on Twitter.
You were just so embarrassed. You were just sitting outside this
I
room the
waited
whole
for it to
time.
be
You
over.
waited, yeah. I'm proud of you that you came in.
I will say this with no compunctions. I think Batman will move into that. The Batman.
No,
will move
because
into
it's a
that.
March 2018. You think that early?
I think a Batman film, when they're talking about October, that's a terrible release for a Batman.
I think
film.
it's a great release. It's
Get out.
Halloween time.
It's Batman. We're talking about. You and I
Did you
go back.
ever add
You and I
Halloween.
go back and forth on a DC film has to make $1 billion. Batman will make $1 billion.
Yeah, wherever it opens.
October. I don't know, man.
Yes.
Kids are in school. It's It's
I
tough.
I think Batman would open big wherever it is, and I think that you're going to see these films opening in all kinds of months moving forward, as we're already seeing. Like, it's November, and we're going to see a Marvel movie tonight.
Yeah, all right.
But listen, I think I'd be very surprised if Batman goes into that spot. Right now, I'm going to say that Flash isn't going to move.
Really?
I don't think it's gonna. Because I think a
all
lot of the
right.
heavy lifting
It's
with
done.
these movies is the set pieces.
Yeah.
And I don't think those are going to
And the
change so
effects
much.
work is pretty much, they know what they're doing with Suicide Squad.
That's
They got
the-
Flash's kind of vibe down already.
But I won't be surprised if they do move it. So
it
we'll
depends
see.
on how fast they get a director and how fast that director
Yeah.
If they do
gels.
move it, then I don't see another film going in that slot because there's no other
No.
film that's in production right now.
Batman's production.
It's not in production.
Well, they said Jeremy Irons is like, I'm shooting this summer.
I think they're going to delay it. I don't think anything's going to
well,
go
that
in the slot.
means next summer. That's still 9 months away to start shooting potentially.
So Flash is what, March of 18?
That's when it's supposed to be March of 18. It's supposed to be the next film to go into production after Justice League.
So what we
which-
really need to do is
Maybe
hurry
TV
up on
time?
Shazam.
Oh,
Will they move up Aquaman?
I thought we were on the same page.
Yeah, Aquaman is just going to surprise everybody and just drop out of nowhere. So update on that. Doug Liman's going to be a weird film. Yeah, I guess that's all. I mean,
All right.
so unless, did you have something else? Another song you wanted to sing? Because we're ready to get out of here.
It's time for Roxy Striar's TV time. Sing along with me this rhyme. Roxy Striar's TV time.
She thinks that the Flash is fine.
DC movie news, it's time to talk. TV time!
Get up and dance over on this side.
Wow.
Cool is that?
You missed it the first time, Rox. You
House
missed it.
bands.
I know, and I thought that I
band
watched every show that you guys did when I'm not here, but I guess I missed that one. Sorry.
You were too busy in Leafy
What was it different
country.
about that show?
Guys,
Leafly, yeah. I was on the pod.
But you know what I meant.
For sure.
You're on the pod.
I was on
This
the pod.
show has a frickin' house band, y'all.
Yeah, we got a house band.
House band, y'all. And, of course, a house band doesn't play for movie time, does it? No. Just for TV time.
No.
Well, I
That's what's
mean, Rick Famuyiwa got a little song today.
That's
Flash
true. That did
movie,
happen.
yeah,
So it
yeah.
did play for movie
There's
time.
always this Top of the Bottom song. I mean, we never have just one song from
That's
Bobby
right.
Bognar.
So, starting with the fact that, guys, we did get a few different casting things this week, but the biggest one is Arrow, which is adding Talia al Ghul as Lexa. How do you say her last name?
Lexa Doig?
Doig. I don't know her very well.
She was on, was it Farscape?
She was on Continuum.
Okay.
And V, which I watched, but I don't.
Oh, the new V with Marina Baccarin?
Yeah. Well, new
Yeah.
as in like a few years ago in
Yeah,
one
yeah.
season
Scott
of it.
Wolf.
Yeah. So I don't know her very well. I'm excited about this though,
She's hideous.
which is obviously him being facetious. She's super hot. Yeah, that hair, dumb eyes.
It's
Oh my
interesting
God, you have
Yeah.
an interesting way of looking at the world.
that they went
She looks
with
exactly
her.
like the
Why?
comic.
because they've already done Nissa.
Yeah.
And that was the whole reason that they weren't doing
Is
Talia
Nissa
so
from
soon.
the comics?
Yeah, it's her
Yeah.
sister.
Okay.
She's introduced in Death and the Maidens.
Okay.
She was fairly, I'd say, the past 10 years.
And she was hot too.
Oh, God.
And she went
Katrina
Leslie
Law.
and was super
Oh my
cute.
gosh,
Yeah.
There's
Katrina
lots
Law.
of, yes.
Oh, mama.
Yeah.
There was, I don't know, it was picked up 2 days before this. There was a new addition to Arrow. The only reason I know this, I know the girl. Juliana Harkavy is joining Arrow as Tina Boland, a detective. It got picked up with Variety. And I mentioned this because she's coming in episode 11. Mark Guggenheim tweeted a picture of Hub City for episode 11, which is where the question's from. They're
Right.
saying that this girl, Tina Boland, is a detective that joins his team. I'm going to say I think this is the question coming on.
That's pretty cool.
I think they're going the Renee Montoya route with it being a girl, but
Yeah.
they can't use Renee because Renee's on Gotham. So they're doing and they said it's Hispanic. Linda
Is
Hamilton,
that true
Rosario.
that they can't use her?
It's on Gotham, so I don't know if they would.
Okay.
But the breakdown was they wanted a Hispanic girl like Rosario Dawson or Michelle Rodriguez. They wanted a tough Hispanic girl that
Well, it's
butts
so
heads.
funny because to me they're two completely different
They
types.
are, but
Yeah.
when you see a casting, that's kind of what they're. You know,
Yeah.
they mentioned Linda Hamilton. They just want a strong, attractive woman. This girl's. I met her through an ex-girlfriend of mine years ago. Very talented actress. I'm so excited that I actually know someone really well that's going to be on the show. But I think
That's
she might be
great.
the question.
Maybe
I
she'll
think-
come in.
You think she'll be the
I'll try.
question?
I think she's going to be the question. I think they're going the Renee Montoya route,
Cool.
but not using Renee Montoya.
So,
Right.
and there was a couple
But
more
I'll see if
castings,
she can
but
come
we
in.
don't
I'd
have
love
that
to.
much time. That would be great. We don't have that much time to talk about it, but what I definitely want to mention, because this was really great when I saw, I was so excited. Jeff Bukes, guys, who is the CEO
Yes,
of Time
that guy.
Warner, said that DC TV shows generate $1 billion in revenue.
That's ridiculous. Like I don't.
That's with a B.
Yep.
I don't. I mean,
$1 billion.
Hey,
A lot of it
Well,
is selling
ridiculous
to
as
other
in you don't
markets
believe
and
them?
like
I don't know.
streaming services and everything like that. Like they make a lot of money. I think they're all on Netflix.
TV
and everything
to
like
me-
that.
Keep in mind, we're talking about iZombie, Lucifer, Preacher,
Everything.
Arrow, Flash, Legend, Supergirl, and Gotham.
You
That's
just
a
always
lot
hear
of-
nowadays with TV and how it's not a profitable business anymore because commercials are gone pretty
Yeah.
much. But obviously they found a system that works, so
Well,
it's fantastic.
I was actually talking to somebody that works at CW, and like what he was kind of explaining to me is like the cost of the production almost cancels itself out with commercial revenue. It's not like commercial revenue makes the money.
Profit, yeah.
It's in the syndication, it's in the streaming services,
Which
it's in the
Arrow
foreign
is
sales,
now.
it's in the Blu-ray.
It's hitting 100 episodes.
And then when you
It's
have
And now
right.
that you have people can buy episodes directly
And people
and
like
you're
this
getting the
kind of
profit,
season,
yeah,
right.
instead of just the overall channel, the whole way that the structure has changed.
Which is why they're never going to listen to me and make them each 10 episodes and make them infinitely better
We were
shows.
talking about that last week because Roxy
Like-
said, and to me, I know you guys like that, but I look at the other side. It's like that's 26 weeks of work for all these actors.
Yeah, but that's
not
irrelevant from the point of view of consuming
viewer,
entertainment.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
okay,
right?
so-
I mean, like,
Yeah.
should you be thinking of like, I want the actor to be entertained more if like you're just talking
Well,
about?
I
like-
see it from a
in
different
work.
side.
And it's not like there
I
wouldn't be
get both
programming.
sides.
There
Yeah.
would be programming. Actors
Yeah.
would be working just on different shows.
Yeah.
Or not.
Or
because
not.
once you book a job, it's easier.
Yeah,
to
once
book
you're
a
on those
job.
DC shows,
Yeah.
you're off.
My point is this: it's just like when you have like it just becomes very formulaic, and they have to just crank it out.
Dude,
a
it's
little bit.
just like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. Those should have been 7 episodes.
Yeah.
There was too much with 13. Defenders, they're doing it, I think 8. perfect.
Isn't it interesting that you think that 13 was too many, but 24 you don't think is too many?
Because it's network and it's different.
Well, job's a job for an actor. If you
Right.
look at it from that way.
You're apples and oranges, Rox. Apples and oranges.
So here's the deal.
Okay.
Here's the deal.
The deal.
The deal is that we have to talk, because we only have a couple minutes, we have to talk some TV this week.
Okay, let's
talk
TV.
Because I finally caught up on Arrow.
All right, so tell me.
Because you hated it. I watched 4 episodes last night because I had to watch Human Target last night.
Yeah.
Great. He was awesome.
Wasn't he so good?
You watched last night's Arrow?
Oh, because I had to build up to it because I wanted to get to that episode, but I watched all of them. I'm back on board with Arrow because I was off the rocker. I'm back on board. Wild Dog, Ragman.
Wild Dog is great.
Ragman, that actor is phenomenal.
Yeah,
He's like an
Ragman-
Ezra Miller.
Some of them are good. The flashbacks are killing me. They're killing
Honestly,
me.
I saw those pictures of Dolph Lundgren.
They're stuck to that 5-year thing.
They're stuck.
I know.
It's just killing me. But I thought that Flash was really good this week. I loved watching what was going on with Caitlin Snow. We finally get more into her backstory.
She
and
got
her life
mommy
with her mom.
issues.
She got them mommy issues, though, which I thought was cool to see.
Oh, yeah. Spoilers, UK. Sorry. They know. Everybody knows to leave if you're UK or wherever.
Yeah. Everybody knows you got to leave for TV time. With Legends, it was a weak for me.
I loved it. I loved it because I thought here's what I like on these shows is when they progress the mythology. It's like, the Doctor Who episodes where something happens. To me, huge thing in mythology for Legends today. I thought the effects on Citizen Steel or whatever
they look
looked
great.
really good.
Okay, but don't you feel like this would have more of an effect on the timeline than Barry recreating a new timeline? Like, they went back and killed a lot of people.
But wait, aside from that, I just want to say also the destroying of the Atom suit.
Yeah.
We don't know where that's going. That's a great potential threat. Like, is he going to become the actual Atom and through a serum now?
I don't know.
I think it's great that they built that and the designer was able to do that, but I've always hated that suit. It's not the Atom to me.
Do you think it's going to be back in 2 episodes? Like, this is what I want to see. This is where I challenge them. Like, will you push the mythology forward, or is it going to be like he's going to get the suit back in an episode and it's going to be more formulaic? I like this episode because I like the quantum leapy,
that's cool.
Doctor Who-iness of it.
Supergirl was probably my favorite this week. I loved what was going on with the fight ring.
It was with the roulette, right?
Yeah, which was very cool. Everything with Martian Manhunter and Miss Martian, I'm all in on. So that's been interesting to see. Lucifer has me so tight still. I am loving that show. It's so weird that I add that into the group, but
it's DC. I'm so far behind.
I love Lucifer. I love it. Every week I'm like, oh my god, I'm so invested in this character. I really am.
Like the actor.
I think he's
like
great.
the actor.
And Gotham, I'm so in now, especially what's going on with Penguin and everything there. I have to
try it
They're
again.
doing the damn thing, whatever that means.
I'm back on Gotham. I find it enjoyable. What do you guys think? Please chime in.
This is definitely a step up from last season for sure.
For Gotham?
Yeah, for sure.
I think so. I'm still have 10 in the chamber from last season. I just stopped.
Just don't go back.
Yeah, no.
You know what? I like not going back because it's almost like reading comics. When you start and the comic's been going for a couple years, you have to learn those things will come back. And then I see I have no idea why is he not a cop anymore. And then but again, moving the mythology forward, by the end of it, he's potentially going to be a cop again.
I do need him to end up with Marina Baccarin. That's how you say her name, right?
Baccarin.
He chose.
He did. Yeah,
they made that very clear.
Yeah, he did, but she did. It was weird. I need them to end up back together.
By the way, I loved Barbara Keene. Was that on this episode?
I've always loved her. People think she's too charactery or whatever.
I do, but she was in a dream sequence, which made it appropriate.
It's okay, yeah.
And she was in some really great outfits
in my mind,
too.
she's always in her dream sequence. That's
the problem. She's always.
But
firmly...
I love that. But so for me, Supergirl does take the cake this week. But everything else I thought was pretty decent. Legends disappointed me a little bit. I'm glad to hear that you liked it though, Adam.
I enjoy Legends because I like that it moves the scenery around different, and it doesn't feel.
It's never boring.
No,
as formulaic.
Stuff,
I'm actually really starting to like Brandon Routh's acting on it too.
Yeah.
I like that they moved Sarah.
And I'm always in for Sarah.
Into
She's the best
a leadership role now.
She's the best. Katie
They're
Lotz
just
is the
asking
best
questions. It's
DC
developing
TV
mythology.
actress there is. She
was
is. She wins
over
for
Grant
me.
Gustin?
Yes, I think Katie Lotz is it.
She's great.
She's my number
What about
one.
Vixen? What about the new Vixen? She's great.
She's good, and she comes over from a show. She comes over from CW. She was from Vampire Diaries original series that I love. So.
I love that they keep pulling to like people that you've seen that have kind of like even bringing in like Tyler Hoechlin into Supergirl and stuff. Is like the people that you're like, what have they been doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I kind of enjoyed all the DC shows this week. I have to say, like I really did. Because I was watching them all like last night in back and forth with the World Series.
Yeah,
because I can't stand baseball, so I would just like watch it for a little bit and then go back and see what was going on, and then it got very interesting.
It is kind of cool that we made history.
I'm glad I caught up. I love Arrow is great, but I love that character, the human target character. I
like what you're when you say like the question though, I want to see episodes of the Arrow that maybe just don't feel like it's part of the same formula.
Just standalone?
Just standalone episodes where they're on a mission with the question or like something else. Like just not everything, every character, all the time, every storyline, checking in. It feels like here and here and here and here and here.
You saw what we're doing on Arrow again, the hints of Felicity that are coming back in. They're doing it again, people.
That character.
They're doing it again.
No, I think Ollie's going to get with that TV reporter.
Why on earth do I care about Felicity's new boyfriend? I need him to have 0 screen time. Go away.
Who is that? John Ritter's son, isn't it? I think.
I don't.
Jason Ritter.
Jason Ritter, yeah.
Jason Ritter.
Who is the
is
dude?
a really amazing guy, actually.
I don't mean that. I don't mean that.
I know what you're saying.
It's like
the
we
character.
I just like.
We don't need
I
the
can't
love
spend
there.
time on Felicity's new boyfriend. I have no time for that.
Who was the dude that was hired to kill Ollie? That badass
Scimitar.
He was like Deathstroke kind of version 2.0.
That to me is like kind of wasted.
And then the flashback
Because
that
it's
we
a good
got
character.
of-
Scimitar's name is.
It's a good character that you think is wasted.
I think I've ever remembered seeing him on a comic.
Okay.
That was a newer one. I
So
just
why do you
remember
think he
his
was
name.
wasted? I thought
It was just kind of lame. It didn't need to be.
It was like a pop-in.
Oh,
Or it could have had.
I think he's
more
got more to do.
characters.
Okay, and that's it for TV time, because I know we have to go, but also...
Supersized episode, guys.
Dakoof won birthday shout-out. Happy birthday!
Hey!
Oh, Dakoof.
Do you think that's what that says?
I think
Dakoof?
it's
Dakoof.
called Scorpio, I believe.
Dakoof.
Dakoof.
Dakoof is in the house.
Dakoof.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dakoof.
Well, this was a great episode, guys. So happy to be here. This was one of my most fun times.
I'm
So
glad
sorry
I-
Loquasto couldn't be here.
I decided to go for it.
It was
Traffic
like Mikey
looking
Christmas.
crap.
You were a
Traffic
surprise.
was
I'm so
on that
happy
Santa
you
Monica
came.
405 from this audition. I was looking at my Waze and it's kept counting down time.
You got
I
us
was
so many more views. Everybody wanted to
Hey,
know like
I
my
love
Christmases.
Yeah, everyone out for
Christmas
free
gift in November.
sandwiches and
Christmas
then came
is
back.
coming wherever I go and all the stores. I love it.
So before we go, why doesn't everybody, as Johnny says, put themselves over? Starting with you, Bobby Bogner.
I'm Bobby Bogner. Find me online at Bobby Bogner. And on the 19th, Saturday the 19th, I'll be playing in Hollywood at Genghis Cohen.
Hey, it's my favorite. I love it there.
Please come and
It's
see
my
me play on the
favorite.
19th.
Oh my god.
I'll put you on
Is
the
that
That's
Bognar Brothers? Or is it
Bognar
Pipers at
Brothers.
the Gates of...
Cohen.
It's like a take
The
on
Bogner
Genghis
Brothers.
Comedies from
Okay, great. The Bognar Brothers. Check them out.
Sorry.
Elena?
I'm Elena Jordan. You can find me on Twitter at Elena Jordan and on Instagram at That Elena Jordan Girl.
I'm Roxy Striar. You guys can find me at Roxy Striar over on Flash and Friends, Screen Junkies, Wednesdays 1 p.m., TV Fights, Screen Junkies, Tuesdays 4 p.m., and everywhere. Yeah, you know. Peace up, A-Town down.
I'm
Is that
at...
Usher's thing?
Yes. Yes.
It's Atlanta.
Peace
What?
up.
What's this?
A-Town
Peace up.
down.
Down.
Peace up. A down. Kalinowski.
Hey guys.
Well-dressed man.
Yes, at Mike Kalinowski. Check me out. DC's Character Corner. We got them back up. We're running through those. I'm joining back on AfterBuzz, the MacGyver show, starting back up. I
Nice.
had to take the month off for October for work. I'll be there. A huge shout out to Clement. I think I'm saying your name right. He did this fan art of me as Green Lantern for
saw
CW.
it. It was
Dude.
awesome.
And everyone's tweeting it out to like the casting and the
bomb.
producers, but it looks so,
It's so
damn.
cool.
And I came out of an
And you used
audition.
to hate on it.
I came out of an audition. I was feeling crappy, and I opened up Twitter. And I just opened up to that, and it just like made my day. So shout out to you on that.
That's awesome.
Get Mikey Christmas hired. Would you change your name to Mikey Christmas officially if they said, listen, we want to hire you, want to bring you into the whole CW world or whatever,
Oh, I have
but
to
we
change
want
it to
Mikey
Mikey
Christmas.
Christmas.
We're not interested in Mike
I think
Kalinowski.
that I could.
I think that if
Part
you
of it. I
said,
think
like,
it's a great
you
name.
can have a bite of my sandwich, but you can't do it unless you change your name, he would change his name.
Yeah, oh my God.
Like, when-
I'm so hungry for sandwich right now.
I'm starving.
My name is Adam Gertler. You can find me online everywhere at Jake Quasto doing comedy all over the place. All
Working
right,
out
guys.
at 5:30 in the morning. That
Yes,
day.
exactly. Seriously, this was so much fun. We'll see you next time on DC Movie News. Woo!
Oh, I'm so glad I made it.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Kristian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.